Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television GPTV. I'm Brett. We're moving along in our reviews of the various trades that have come out for Black Panther, the Ta-Nehisi Coates run of the series that's been going on for like 2 years now. I think it started like late 2016, somewhere around there. We're moving on to Volume 3. We've already reviewed Volumes 1 and 2. This basically wraps up that first arc, The Nation Under Our Feet. This is Book 3 of Nation Under Our Feet. Kind of smart in that it shows that all three books are of one story, and we're not looking at various small arcs between the three of them, as we see in a lot of series. This really should be read as one big, giant, epic event that goes on for 12 issues. So this covers issues 9 through 12, as well as New Avengers from 2013, 18, 21, and 24. Some material from that. This is by Ta-Nehisi Coates, as I said, Brian Stelfreeze, Chris Sprouse, Karl Story, Goran, Sudzuka, Walden, Wong, Roberto, Poggi, Scott Hanna, Laura Martin, Matt Milla, Larry Molinar, Rachelle Rosenberg, and Paul Mounts. This wraps up the story that's been building. Basically, Wakanda is under siege from revolutionaries from the south and the north, well, somewhat from the north. The Dora Milaje have rebelled against King T'Challa, looking at the abuses of the past, and we have a king under siege not knowing what to do. We also have Tetu, who's leading other forces, kind of controlling them a little bit at times, but basically there's enough discontent within Wakanda that, well, people are pretty pissed about it. Ta-Nehisi Coates has a background in socio-political issues and has been using a lot of that to basically plot out his story. This is very much a big, giant political epic in that it questions what's it mean to be a king. Where is power derived from? What are is the role of leadership? What is the role of the people? At what point can you revolt? Stuff like that. Also, leadership. What do you do after you kind of found your own country? What type of leadership do you have? Do you ally with your former oppressors to defeat a third party? Do you trust that third party to defeat your former oppressors? These are all really, really important questions and fantastically explored within here. Basically, this is the end of the epic. If you haven't read the first two volumes, this is not a place to start. I'll straight up say that. This is not a place to start at all. However, if you read those first two volumes, this should get you nice and happy to see where it all wraps up and ends. It ends really, really nice. There's a lot of political gamesmanship. There is a lot of various jockeying, and there's some good battles within. Maybe not as much as other people would like, but I'm very happy about that. I'd rather have that political intrigue than just a whole bunch of punching and fighting to resolve the issue. And the reason I like that is because that's what King T'Challa and Black Panther is all about. This isn't your normal superhero who's just out going to save the day. This is actually a hero whose entire point is that he's torn between being a hero and being the king. Is he a ruler of the nation, or is he out should be gallivanting with the Avengers? And he's kind of torn between all of that. What is he supposed to be doing? And it's very interesting in that his role as the King of Wakanda, he's also Black Panther. He has that dual role in it. So a lot of that's explored. It's a really, really fascinating read, and I think it would be a lot of fun to take all three volumes, throw in front of a poli-sci class, and allow them to debate as to what's going on, seeing what their opinions are about it, and seeing what they have to say about it. I think it would be, you could probably have hours of debate on political philosophy stemming out of this, because there's a lot there. So me, who has a poli-sci background, degree in poli-sci, of course I liked it, because this is pretty much the shit I studied in college and have loved since I was a little kid. So, a lot of the political philosophy, a lot of that, a lot of the stuff that I read, that the books that were kind of beat into me to try to forge whatever my belief system is. That's kind of the type of stuff that's explored here and will get you to think. And I think it's really, really does a fantastic job in that. And that Ta-Nehisi Coates does a wonderful job of throwing out all these philosophical questions, allowing you, the reader, to try to figure them out. No answers are really given. A solution, I think, is pretty obvious, is given eventually, but as far as the right rule is, what's the right way to rule, isn't at all. But the end solution is pretty much what I would expect. And funny enough, when a long time ago when I was challenged to what the perfect government would be, this is the solution I came up with. I'm not going to leave that to you to read and find out. So yeah, I mean, this is a very political book. It's really straight up. There is no way to sugarcoat it. This is a straight up political book, and if you are into that in your comics, then you're probably going to dislike that. But then again, why are you reading Black Panther to begin with? That is kind of like ingrained as to what he would be. I would hope you would have the same complaints about like a book about Namor ruling, or maybe Doctor Doom ruling Latveria. I mean, this is kind of the point of their characters, at least part of it. The art is solid. You know, I've read off a lot of different creators that were all part of this, and the art is smooth. You don't really notice much of anything. The style is pretty consistent throughout all the volumes, even though some of the creators changed up a little bit. And, you know, it looks decent. Like, there's some really good detail on there. I think the designs are really neat. Kind of going like that. That's about what we're going to show off, because I don't want to ruin it at all. So yeah, I mean, it's. I think the arts is great. Some of the battles are fantastic. As far as extras in the book, not a whole lot. There's some variant covers. There's a little bit more of like backstory. Let's see if I can find that material really quick. Well, I don't want to do that because that's just gonna. That's gonna spoil everything. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, there's like a little bit about the story so far type of stuff, covers, variant covers, a setup of the extra issues that were in here from New Avengers, the material from New Avengers. But yeah, that's about it. So you get all that for $16.99. I think it's worth it. Basically, if you've read the first 2 volumes and enjoyed them, you're definitely going to want to read this one because this finishes off those 2 volumes. If you haven't, this isn't the place to start. Straight up the answer. If anyone tells you differently, then they're full of it. This is not a place to start reading. But I recommend it. As far as the whole, I think the 3 are great. You can see Ta-Nehisi Coates getting better at writing comics as he goes on, because obviously writing prose and writing articles are very different than writing a comic book. The first volume is definitely choppy and has its issues in that. Second volume is where things get much better, and the third's where it's kind of getting the more the traditional style and much smoother in writing. So, you know, props to him for clearly learning on the job and showing off that he can learn as far as that, because it's a very different style of writing and not easy from what I hear. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. Now obviously Black Panther's in theaters. Reading this does not spoil anything in the movie. Watching the movie does not spoil anything in this. They're all different, separate things. Go see it in theaters. Go read the comics. Go read the comics. Go see it in theaters. If you want your own copy, go hit up your local comic book shop. We've got a link beneath this. You put in your zip code. It'll tell you if a shop is near you. If there's no shop near you, we've got some affiliate links that will help you out. They're affiliate links, so we do get a small percentage of that. But yeah, so purchasing through that with the affiliate links, you help support our site, and by doing that, thank you so much. As always, we appreciate you watching. Until next time, keep reading those comics, make my Marvel, and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.